Why is there so much evil in the world? Most of us believe in a God who is good, and for us, this issue of the presence of evil is a troubling one, especially since it seems that the evil in the world just continues to multiply and to grow stronger with every passing day. What is worse is that sometimes it seems that those who are appointed to keep this evil in check are the most evil of all, and all the efforts of men to bring wickedness under control are useless. Every day we hear reports of brutal killings, starving children, mass murders, cruel beatings, rapes, one horror story after another. It is clear that evil is an ever-present reality wherever we go on this planet. Even in places where we would expect to find things different, such as in church organizations and the governmental bodies that we elect to represent and administer our affairs, we often find the same levels of corruption and deception and wickedness as we find everywhere else. It seems that evil is a universal presence and that there is no way to escape it. It is no wonder that the rate of suicide all over the world keeps rising every day. Many people seem to have come to the conclusion that there is no point in living in a world where there is so much unhappiness and hopelessness. It is worth noting that high rates of suicide exist equally in the more wealthy countries of the world, where people have the highest standards of living and where things like starvation and lack of the necessities of life are not an issue. According to Wikipedia, the most suicidal state in the entire world is by a wide margin Greenland, with Lesotho being the most suicidal country. Europe is the most suicidal region in the world, while the Eastern Mediterranean is the least. This demonstrates that evil is a presence which does not exist only where there is poverty and deprivation. It is an entity which is inherent to humanity and which cannot be eliminated simply by changing the circumstances of people's lives. In fact, even if we step aside from humanity and look at the world of nature, we again see the truth that the world is full of tragedy and suffering, that pain and loss seems to be a natural part of the very nature of things. In order for some animals to live, others have to die in ways that seem brutal and cruel. Earthquakes, storms, volcanoes, fires frequently break out with devastating loss to life, both of humans and animals. Yes, it is accepted that this is just the way life is. It is the natural pattern of nature, but still, there is no denying that it causes great suffering and again reminds us that evil is an inescapable factor in the universe in which we live. In this series of short presentations, we want to examine this problem of evil more closely with an aim to answering a few questions. Can we understand the nature of this evil? What is the cause of this evil? How did this evil originate? How should we relate to the presence of this evil? Is there a reasonable solution to it? Stay tuned for the upcoming videos in this series. There are reasonable, clear answers to these questions. Answers which will give you a solution that makes sense and is of practical value as we continue for the moment to live in this evil environment.